There are over 2,000 varieties of black fly. Some are akin to green fly, white fly, sap-sucking insects. Others are more like mosquitoes and midges. And my impression is that those I have are of the midgie, mosquito, blood-sucking varieties. And what I tend to find is as soon as I take the seed trays out of stratification and start warming them up, then within a few days there are plenty of black fly scurrying around on the surface of the currently what I'm using, peat-based compost. So I would imagine they've laid their eggs in the bogs out in the wild before the compost has been harvested. It then goes into bags. I use it for seed germination and therefore the cycle continues. Either way, I don't want them to proliferate and overwhelm my growing operations. And I noticed other professional growers were putting sand on top of their seeds. So I asked them why, and they said it was to deter the black fly. So I thought, great, I'll try that as well. And perhaps it was because the sand I used was just normal builder's sand. It had, however, been outside for quite a long time. It rains here in Ireland, and I would have expected any salt or contaminants to be washed out of it. However, it wasn't a success. It was one of the major factors in, or probably the only factor, to be honest, in the poor germination rates and propagation rates that I had last year. So I've thrown out most of those seed trays which I used the sand in, and as you can see, what generally happens is I get a poor germination rate, and then those that do germinate, they tend to die off quite quickly. They shrivel and wither and die off. Even those that do make it, and I manage to plug them up and they start to grow on, I have a huge die-off rate, failure rate. Normally I would expect less than 1% once I get them to this stage and start plugging them up. However, in this particular tray here, there's 7 out of 30, so 20% failure rate. So I won't be using sand on top of my seed trays ever again. I am, however, trying to create a consistent, managed business. I generally have had good germination rates, good propagation rates, and I do now have customers who are starting to come back to me and will be depending on me for their stock of plants. So I need to create a consistent method of germinating my seeds. So I've gone back to just having the peat-based compost. I do, however, want to also control these black fly midges. I don't want them to get out of control. And I have used fly paper in the past in the polytunnels. Very effective. Though in the polytunnels, they killed everything, pests and their prey, and I do generally outside want to build up an organic predator-prey balance. However, in this area, I'm looking to establish a more controlled, sterile environment. So I thought I would try flypaper again, and once again it's proved to be very effective. Initially what I've done here is I've placed one of them just flat down on top of the surface. These seeds are starting to germinate now, so I'll put one bent over at either side, and this has been effective as well. Not perhaps quite as effective as lying it face down or flat on the surface, though I'll live with that because as I say, these seeds are germinating. So I don't want the flypaper covering the seeds. If I bend them over, then it doesn't come in contact with the lids of the seed trays. Hope that helps. Good luck.